time. At least it's for the countdown. Uh-oh. Are you howling? Is this a name? Are we going to talk the name during the minute?
No, not even close.
No?
No.
None of us want to talk the name. You know none of us want to talk
I mean, I have sources that confirm that I just howled like a wolf, but that's still as far as I go for a wolf.
I have a source who knows a source, who has a source, who works at a place that has a source, who says that you howled.
Oh! Well, it's out there.
There we go.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am a howler. Stoner, what's up? You look kind of quiet.
I was trying to adjust something. I had my speaker on order. Sorry. It's not going to be that name. It's not going to be the other name. It's going to be the name that I said it's going to be.
You also said it was going to be the Monuments. I know you've walked away from that one. But let's not get carried away that you're the end-all, be-all.
It's going to be the Washington Legends.
Okay, well, we're not talking the name during this show. This is the Day After Reckoning coming right up here on Ref the District.
Thomas is in. Touchdown, Washington. Lofting one. He's got a man. It's McLaurin in stride. Touchdown, Washington. Has it back. Chase Young. They're chasing him down the sideline. And Chase Young has a Washington touchdown.
And he does that makes me laugh every time.
That deserves a wow.
Greetings and salutations. Welcome to the Day After Reckoning right here on Ref the District. And as you can tell, if you're watching this on one of our video channels, it is a Victory Tuesday. I've got the Washington onesie on. Happy to have that on there. We got a few people watching this live stream here for the Day After Reckoning on our Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch channel. And with me hosting this show, as always, we got Trev.
What up, dog? What up, Stoner? How we doing today? It's Victory Tuesday.
Yes, it is.
Tuesday. Very rare as Washington fans. We get to celebrate that. And as Trev mentioned, we got Stoner as well.
Dub.
Yep. And speaking of dubs, we got P-Dub in our YouTube chat.
What up,
EP
P-Dub?
is there as well. Roger is joining us. I know everybody is excited. This was a huge victory for Washington football team, and we're going to be talking about that. I've already plugged Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. We do these every day after a Washington football team plays. It'll also be on audio platforms. You can catch us wherever podcasts are found. We'd also like to note that we are sponsored by Pacers Running. For every whatever running needs you have, they've got you covered. Just hit them up online or one of their 6 stores in Northern Virginia or the DC area. They'll have you taken care of. For every run, Pacers Running is there. All right, moving on to the show. Just make sure you remember.
What up?
And Day After Reckoning, you can DM us on Twitter. Or you can DM us on Facebook. We'll shoot you a link. You can join us and talk about what you thought about the game. And that's so much more fun. Victory Mondays, Tuesdays, as today is. So we're going to have a lot of fun on this show because it was one heck of a game.
Huh? Who you telling?
Yeah,
well, first of all, before we like really dive into it, Nathan, you were on site for Monday Night Football. So real quick, atmosphere. Did you get hammered? Did you twerk like our good friend Keith usually does, which I heard he couldn't do because
Jesse even has from sister podcast there. Both of those guys were twerking. I did not twerk. I did not. I had the one beer at the beginning, but I was driving, so I kept safe and only had the one. Not even a tall boy, just a small one. But atmosphere probably best I've seen at FedEx in a long time.
Really?
And honestly, that's saying something because there was not a lack of Seahawks fans.
Sure.
Okay. There was plenty of lime green Seahawks fans there, but it was just something in the atmosphere where Washington fans were louder. Washington fans were into it. Washington fans were just electrified, which is pretty impressive because the game was fairly close, throughout. It wasn't like they were one of the previous games where they were kind of running away with it at certain points, maybe not running away with it, but kind of more dominant victory. Yeah. And control.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So when you say there's of course a fair share of Seattle fans compared to like all the other fans that come, was it really a lot compared to like the other, like, you know what I'm trying to say? Like, because usually it's flooded with opposing team fans. Was it as many as it has been before, or was it like, I don't know. I'm trying to ask
the lower bowl, and this is from my perspective for where I was sitting, the lower bowl, and I'm sitting on the home side, right? It's almost like a college football like game at a neutral site where it's like half and half. It's kind of, so like when I'm looking across, the away side literally is just from top to, on the lower bowl, from top to bottom is nothing but lime green and Seahawks and stuff fans. Yeah. So they came out and they stayed the whole game. Nice fans, by the way. They weren't bad. There was actually a 49ers fan that was doing some trash talk, and of course a Cowboys fan that was doing some trash talk.
I never understand when we go to our games at home. You get like Dolphin fans when we're playing the Steelers. It's like, what do you?
Well, I'll be honest. A couple years ago, I went to a Giants game up in their new stadium, up in Meadowland. It's actually in Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Just because we wanted to go to a game for I don't remember why, but we went to a game in the new stadium, and it was the Giants against the Eagles, I think.
Well, that makes sense.
And I wore a Redskins jersey.
That makes sense. You're in the division. That's accepted.
Maybe.
If we're playing the Steelers and you're wearing a Niners jersey, why are you here? Like, what are you?
Well, and in that regards, though, the Seahawks were playing, so the 49ers.
Niners are in their division.
Okay.
So in that regards, makes sense. I'm pretty sure I've seen this Niners fan at the games before, though.
Oh, same guy.
So I'm pretty sure it's just a fan who's in the local area who just likes to watch live football. And when tickets are as cheap as they are,
here, honey, if you're going to the game, put this jersey on. We are not a 49ers fan, but you'll fit right in.
Right. Nobody will notice.
Yeah. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, it was good times. I loved your guys' reaction. If you haven't seen one of the Ref the District live views, we're gonna do one again. I'm gonna go ahead and do an early pitch for that. Watch the game with us this Sunday as Washington football team takes on the Raiders. It's an away game. We're all gonna be home. We're going to be synced up over here, and we're going to watch the three of us will watch the game together. We'll give us, you don't need to listen to the third or fourth, fifth string broadcasters that CBS is going to pitch us with.
Right.
Okay.
True.
You can listen to Trev, Stoner, or myself.
Yeah.
We'll keep you up to speed.
Here's a question though. A little behind the scenes. Look at what we do behind the scenes here. What happens if the game is not on in our area? What are we going to do? Now, Trevor's always going to get the game.
Yeah, I always get the game.
But Nathan, you and I are both in the Baltimore broadcast area. Yeah. So what if it's not on
2 weeks ago? You're in Dundalk and Nathan's over here.
It
doesn't matter.
I just want to say Dundalk.
We'll have to discuss locations.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Yeah.
Currently,
we'll figure it out.
Area. We'll figure
it out.
Come
on down.
Figure it out. It's good.
I'm just asking.
Come on down.
Well, yeah, I'll drive for 3 hours.
I go to Buffalo Wild Wings or whatever to
set up. I'm sure they would love for you to jump on a stream there. Give a shout out to Josh and one of our old time favorites here, T-Ho.
T-Ho
is in the house, and Josh is asking, did you see the fan that pushed Everett? Yes, it was great, and that was one of the things that electrified the crowd at the Fed. That was great, and it became a thing, right? So when he did it, and the next time Seattle scored, like the player tried getting up there, and they tried to do the same thing, like after maybe it wasn't after the score, it was like after a touchdown, or not a touchdown, but like a defensive play or something like that. They pushed them away, and it was good. You want that atmosphere. You want Washington fans to surround the lower bowl and prevent the celebrations like that happening at the home.
And the guy was wearing a 52 jersey, and our buddy JP Finley tweeted out and said, "That's the best defensive play 52's made all year."
Jamin Davis had a good game. He's been good.
He had a nice stop. But let's talk about the game now. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's get
it. So many storylines.
But I'm gonna start it off. Curtis Samuel looks good, and I know people
running
are
well.
He only played like that, but if you've been riding the whole way like we have, we have a right to say he looks good because that's the best he's looked in our uniform all year. Practice, game, everything. So
what did he have? Two catches, maybe even only one. But one of them was on like that swing pass, and he exploded when he got the ball. And got a first down. I think he had 2 touches, and I think he had 2 first downs, which is kind of what he does. Yeah, I was very pleased.
One rush for 4 yards.
That was a rush.
And he had one catch for 9 yards.
Yeah, that's fine.
He was explosive on that catch, too.
He was.
And he's on pitch count.
And he took a hit, too.
He got popped.
He energized the crowd as well.
Oh yeah, that's how you know. I'm like,
when he pumped up, he tried to get the crowd pumped.
Yeah, that was
glad to have him back at weapon. Logan Thomas, another weapon that they got back. Kind of a mixed bag for Logan Thomas.
Did you hear Stoner? Nathan just referred to him as a weapon. Did you hear?
Oh, he's not decidedly mediocre anymore because he's decidedly mediocre is not a weapon.
Okay,
no.
So he's an upgrade over Bates, Reyes, and RSJ.
But
I didn't say a but. I said he's an upgrade over those.
AKA, you're not going to classify him as a weapon yet.
I'm just saying he's an upgrade over the tight ends that Washington was
he won't give in, Stoner. Not yet.
No, he won't give in yet. Logan Thomas
go ahead.
is a weapon. And
he wasn't a weapon yesterday.
Trev and I talked about it in the live stream. Right?
Nathan,
teams have to game plan for Logan Thomas. They don't have to game plan for Bates or Seals Jones.
Bro, he was a weapon.
Samus Reyes.
He's definitely a much better.
They have to game plan for Logan.
He's definitely a more of an offensive threat than the rest of them. And he's got the height, which is something that frustrates me when they got down to the end zone a couple of times.
They don't.
Why are we subbing out Cam Sims? He's your biggest wide receiver, and you're taking him out.
Throw the fade.
The Logan Thomas is good. I get why people like Logan Thomas. I'm not saying I don't like Logan Thomas anymore. I just want to make sure that's clear. I'm not as high on him as my co-host here. Okay, well, part of that is because I was very hard on him, and so I'm just kind of sticking my heels in there. This is Redskin 007 here. What's up, fellas? With our win, our team is building confidence, and I feel like the positive outcomes will fuel more hard work to keep this playoff push going. There's the P word.
We'll get to that P word.
Yeah, we'll talk to the P word.
There's that P word. We'll definitely be talking playoffs later.
Getting back to Logan, right?
Yeah.
So what were the problems that you had with him?
He just said it right there. He said,
"I'm not saying that there's severe problems, but I mean, he did have a drop.
Which one was the drop?
Which one was the drop?
The
interception
would be touchdown. The interception. I do put that partially.
That's on Taylor.
Him.
And plus, the ball.
Where do you want Taylor to throw
before it got to him?
Not to somebody who's triple or double covered. Especially not a tight end who's Logan Thomas.
Have you not watched Taylor Heineke play?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So
Logan Thomas 3 for 31, by the way, which is solid.
Yeah,
for his first game back in 6 games. I mean, he missed 6 games.
And by the way, not just because
I'm happy to have him back.
Not just because it's Logan Thomas, but I'm sorry, and this pisses me off. That was a catch in the end zone. That was a touchdown.
Stoner, okay.
I'm sorry.
We're gonna get. It's not. Bro.
I haven't found anybody who has disputed that.
It was disputed by the refs. It was disputed by New York.
One guy who counts.
It hit the ground. It hit the ground.
It did not. I'm sorry.
It definitely hit the ground.
It moved.
Definitely.
His hand was under the ball, and the ball can hit the ground if his hand is underneath it.
The ball assisted.
I'm sorry. That was a terrible
ball assisted in the catch. So when they didn't show it at first, I was like, okay, it's not a catch. And then they started showing it over and over. And it seemed like they were convinced it was. But after like the second replay at FedEx Field, I was just like, why are we still showing this? Like, this is not a catch. Like, this is clearly not a catch. Why are we continuing to show this?
Yeah. I think it was a bad call. The replay guy that Monday Night Football uses. He said they're not going to overturn it because it's not clear and obvious that it was not a catch.
Roger agrees with
that. Was a catch. And it's not, and I would say that if it was Seattle on the other end, and that was like their tying touchdown or whatever. That was a catch. I'm sorry. It just was. And I'm still pissed about it.
Let's call up Des Bryant. Let's get his opinion.
Oh, he definitely didn't catch that.
I'm just saying.
Just a reminder, speaking of calls, you can call into our show. Just go ahead and DM us on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll make sure you get a link to today's show. You can jump on, share your feelings. Let us know whether or not you agree with Stoner. Was that a catch or not a catch?
That was definitely a catch. There's so many stories. There's so many storylines for this game.
I got another one.
I mean, there's so many. Go. Give me another
one.
Ready?
We need to find another way to convert on 3rd and short because straight shotgun handoffs to Gibby ain't working.
Although, let me just say this, Trev. It did work quite often throughout the game. Where it did not work was on those 3rd and 1s.
That's what I'm saying.
Second half of the game. But it was working throughout the whole game.
Well, you got to make adjustments, bro.
You're right. You're right. And when it stopped working was when you had your 4th line center in the game.
And he played marvelous.
Although I did watch him. I went back and watched him. He played very well. But on those 3rd and 1s, he was getting blown up.
Here's the thing.
Yeah,
but maybe they should have made adjustments.
Don't call that play.
You're going to be mad if Scott Turner dials up one of those bubble screens or one of these other.
It's okay. Hand it off the first time, we don't get it. Cool. The second time, we don't get it. Cool. The third time, try something different. Keep it. Ron said this morning. Keep it and run it yourself, Taylor.
Yeah,
they know it's going to Gibby. Stevie Wonder sees it's coming to Gibby. Shout out to Stevie Wonder. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you got to trust Gibson to make it. It's a yard. You guys have been dominating the line the entire game.
Yeah, I know.
You got to trust them to make it. Here's the thing. I do want to see them do something different, maybe the second time, but when it's late in the game, no, I just want them to run it down their throats and what
line up differently. Something. Stop line up a shotgun all the daggone time.
The shotgun part, I think, honestly, part of the shotgun is one. I think that Gibson's more of a threat back there, and I think they've shown that the running back can actually make it to the line quicker in shotgun than if you line up under center. But I think there was also some handoff issues with, again, working your 4th center into the game with Taylor Heineke. So if you're there, you'd see the practice snaps that they got in with Ishmael were all shotgun. None of them were lined up under center.
Gotcha.
So I think that might have
played into it and
play into it
for sure.
I was very impressed when he came into the game. Right, Ishmael came into the game. It was a 3rd and 6, and he comes in cold. Basically, just had a couple of those warm ups. He comes in cold. It's a cold night, literally. So he was cold. And a 3rd and 6, a shotgun, and it was on a go on 3. It was a snap on the 3rd count. So it was hut, perfect.
Yes,
flawless execution, and he blocked perfectly. He hit the guy one time, and then went over and double teamed on another guy. Taylor with a perfect pocket. Threw a strike to Carter. I don't know who it was.
Yeah, it was.
I was just like, how does a guy do that? How's a guy who's been sitting on the bench for an hour and a half
because
just come right into the game, get the snap count right, get a perfect snap? I know. I was super impressed with that.
Maybe we're not giving him enough credit because I mean, he was there last year with us, so it's like maybe and with Taylor Heineke, so maybe he just already has. I don't know, but
I mean, it's just impressive to do that, to just come right into the middle of the game.
Yeah,
you weren't expecting to play at all.
Hey, ready?
Just all of a sudden, it was a go on 3, right? It wasn't like a just go, and he made a perfect execution. Had great blocks. They converted the 3rd down. Went down. It was really impressive. But like I said, in the second half, though, he was getting pushed around a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think he's the
fourth stringer for a reason. So, but he did his job well. Not a 4th stringer here for Ref the District, just one of our friends of the show. You know him. It's Josh Kirby, our first phone call in here. Welcome, Josh. We'll make you the big screen. No
what up, Josh?
Hello, gentlemen. How are we?
It's Victory Tuesday, dog. How are you?
Oh, man, Victory Tuesday. Just got done recording one of my own podcasts and on the grind. Thought I'd pop in and say hello on this Victory Tuesday.
Yes, sir.
Did you get a chance to go to the game, or did you watch Trev and Stoner?
Monday night football games are next to impossible for me to get to with my work schedule. And, where I live, I probably would not get home till like 3 a.m. So,
yeah.
Sunday 1 o'clock are the best time for me to go. But yes, I was just on my couch, a nice cup of hot chocolate and watching the game. There's nothing better primetime football, and you're just chilling on your couch watching the game.
I'm gonna have to question your fandom on that, there, Josh. If you don't want to go and you're worried about getting home at 3 a.m., Nathan he got home at 3 a.m. and had to go to work at like 5 a.m.
Nathan also
maybe not quite those
hours,
but yeah,
something like that. So
I've never been to a Monday night football game, but hopefully, if the time's right and I don't have to work the next game, then maybe I will.
All right, so I just got to get that in your brain there. So next time you're thinking about going or not, you're gonna say, "That's Stoner. He's gonna get on my case. I better go to the game."
Yeah, I might have to take the Matt Rule doppelganger with me.
Yeah.
Josh, you don't have to hear any crap from him. He's not going to any other game this season.
There's only 2 left, right?
Okay, well, you have 2 options, and you're not going to them, Stoner. So I'm just going to make sure that you can't talk any trash.
I went to my fair share. I went to 2 this season, which is more than I expected I was going to.
Good.
There you go.
Good. Very good.
So I always ask you this every day after reckoning. Most impressive of the win yesterday, offense or defense?
Well, offense. I'm going to say offense because they ran the football and they ran it pretty darn well.
Sure.
Antonio Gibson over 100 yards rushing, and the offense too, because of time of possession, guys.
Sure.
Time of possession was huge in that game, and that's basically one of the factors on why Washington won is because time of possession. Even if they did not convert to a score, the time of possession was huge because it gives less time for Seattle to try to make an opportunity to come back and take the lead.
Yeah, which Russell Wilson definitely showed there at the end of the game that they're more than capable of doing that when they have to. Mm-hmm. So that's
nail biter at the end of that one, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, no joke. No joke.
Down to that kickoff, why do you duck on an onside kick?
Jordan Kuzniak, whatever.
He's deliberately doing that. That's what he's taught to do.
I think
he's supposed to do that.
Yeah.
He's coached to do that. That's exactly what he's supposed to do. He's getting lit up.
Well, if it wasn't a legal formation on Seattle and
they definitely would have.
Yeah,
it would have been bad.
Well, they still would have had to go down and
they needed
14 seconds and no timeout.
They needed one
completed.
Play. Yeah,
one pass completed.
Yeah. Okay. Thank the Lord for Kendall Fuller for getting that pick in the end zone because that was pretty huge. Them down by 2 with Kendall Fuller making that big play.
Yeah, no joke.
Oh yeah, it was the play of the game.
And that was the first time all season Seattle attempted a 2-point conversion.
Mm-hmm. Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Well, I'm glad that they're 0 for 1.
Against the boys.
This was my first time seeing an extra point blocked converted for 2 points as well.
Yeah, that was
crazy. You don't see that every day.
That was a hands-on head moment for most of us in the stands.
Oh, yeah.
You're just like, what's going on?
I don't know if you saw this, guys, but the Washington football team signed former Hokies kicker Brian Johnson. So we have another Hokies kicker. But that kicking situation, you need to have somebody else on that team who knows how to kick a football. Yes, Tressway had experience in college, but I don't think Ron trusted him enough. And
he didn't practice a lefty. He's a lefty too. So
I understand completely, but I'm still very upset that this should be a thing that all teams do. If I was the special teams coach, I'd have more than one player who knows how to kick a field goal, because if that one guy goes out, you need to have that next man up.
Here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that, Josh. You only get so many roster spots per game day. And those are very, very special spots that you do not want to waste on a backup kicker on the remote possibility that your kicker is going to get hurt during the game.
That's not what
you can't waste it on that.
Your emergency kicker is going to have to be your fourth
you just
or
mean on the
fifth
practice
string
squad.
Someone there.
No,
yeah,
just means
correct.
If the punter can actually make field goals as well.
Okay, but what's the difference?
Somebody on that roster who is there, like who's on the sideline available to play, if they know how to kick a field goal, that's what I mean.
Well, yeah, but who is that guy who can do that plus whatever else he's there to do?
If Tressway was right-footed for our team, that would be an example, because they said they didn't practice holding.
I think lefty was a big deal in that game too.
If he was a righty, Tressway would.
Well, if you remember,
there's a lot of interesting things there for that.
Yeah, the first 4 or 5 weeks, they were complaining about the new center, the new long snapper, and the holder and the kicker not being in time, even though they were in OTAs, they were in
that was all D-Hop's
camp and all that other stuff, right? And then all of a sudden, you're just going to say, "Hey, let's bring out Kyle Allen to hold and Tressway to kick lefty." I haven't never practiced that before, and all of a sudden, it's going to work. You're going to open yourself up to a lot of other problems, like hello, another blocked kick.
I was about to say, and this is a unit that's already had 4 blocked kicks.
Yeah. Well, maybe now going forward, they're going to start practicing with Tressway kicking left field goals in case this ever happens again.
Yeah, I bet I still don't think they'll do it in a game.
I don't know that it's going to come up. I don't know if you noticed, but his kicking power for kickoffs wasn't great. So they're still only going to attempt chip sacks.
That's your boy too.
But I know I love me some Tressway.
Yeah.
I mean,
Josh, want to thank you for joining us, though.
I mean, other than that, I'm just glad Washington pulled out the victory.
Yes,
absolutely. 100.
All right, we got the W. Josh, thanks for joining us. You guys can catch him. You can see it right there. KirbyOnSports.com. All right, thanks, Josh.
All right, see you, buddy.
He mentioned Kendall Fuller.
He did. Who you love? Who you did?
Yeah, I was going
to
talk about him.
I disagree with Josh's assessment. First off, on which one was the most impressive unit.
Same.
Offense did a great job, and it was 41 minutes, and 007 mentioned that in his comment that I showed on the screen earlier. Roger, though, shows us, really here the defense, different looks, pressure packages, the communication's better. Bobby McCain does have to do better. Roger brings that up with his 2 blown coverages. I don't know if it's time for Jeremy Reeves, but they do have to figure something out, because that part right there, when you're talking, you have nearly 2 or 3 times the amount of time with the ball. Your first downs were 27 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
And you only win this game by 2 points.
Yeah.
That's why your offense isn't moving. Your offense isn't doing its job. Now, the running game was there. Gibson over 100 yards. Now, I do think this game would have been put out of hand had Joey Sly not been injured, because I do think that they were well within field goal several times where they ended up having to punt or go for it on 4th down where they didn't necessarily want to go it on 4th down. Even there at the end where Gibson ran out of bounds for the 2nd game in a row,
could have been
kicked the field goal, forced them to have to march down the field for more points.
Yeah,
but it's the kicker situation. I do think it was kind of a fluke accident. The blocked punt, the blocked kick, they've got to do something about that, because once is an accident, twice we're starting to look kind of questionable. Now it's a trend. We're talking 4 blocked field goal attempts in, like I said, 5 weeks now is what I think we're at.
Yeah, something.
And that's just ridiculous. I don't know if I've ever heard of that before. Joey Sly injured on the return. I think we're really lucky Tressway didn't get injured as he went to go try to, I'm not sure what you would want to call that. It wasn't a tackle attempt. It was like
he tried.
It was like
he
wanted
to slow him down.
Yeah, it's just like just go for the knees. I know, like, you're all football players. And you don't want to necessarily injure anybody, but you're a punter, and that's a 300-pound lineman.
Mm-hmm.
You just got to get him down to the ground. Somehow.
But we could. Nobody on our special teams unit is fast. And we proved that. We showed that yesterday.
Well, it's a field goal.
It's a field goal.
I don't care.
You need all the guys supposed to be blocking.
Somebody fast.
You put all your linemen in there, and you're blocking tight ends. You're not exactly putting in.
Guess who outran our whole squad? A lineman.
That
means our linemen are slow.
He also had a head start, by the way. He did. He had a head start. If I give you a head start on somebody of equal running skill, you're going to beat them.
I'm going to catch him.
He said equal running
skill. You're going to lose.
You're going to catch him if you're equal.
There's no way they had equal running skill. They proved that last night. He outran Samus Reyes. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, he did.
The part of that was he did have the entourage around him blocking.
And Samus is too big to run. He's too jacked.
He skipped leg day.
But
defense side of the ball,
I thought defense was amazing.
Outside of those two plays, outside of those two plays, I really think that they did an excellent job.
What did they not do right outside of those two plays?
Okay, they were the better of the two, but this is probably one of the most clean games, penalty wise and mistake wise they've had. But also, we have got to fix that back end communication, because those two Tyler Lockett passes, they had no relevance, but they're the Seahawks. If that's anybody ever was supposed to Aaron Rodgers or anybody like that, that's a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? Like that
first one was definitely a communication issue.
The second one was too.
No, the second one was McCain had him. He just stumbled over his own feet and couldn't keep up with him.
That's right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So he knew he was supposed to be on him. He just couldn't cover him. Tyler Lockett
put a juke on
Tyler Lockett did Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, exactly.
To defend Josh's assessment a little bit for the offense, I will say that they were the most impressive because they had to overcome the kicking issue and put the game on their shoulders to win, which time of possession comes into play. Taking care of the ball comes into play.
All that.
We didn't convert in the red zone as much as we used to. We only scored 15, but we also kept Russell Wilson off the field for most of the game.
Right.
So to defend that was the most impressive, I think, because our defense, we're starting to see this now. It's been a trend. Our offense, this is the second game now where we use our possession, use our heads to win the game when we have a adversity on our side, which this week was the kicker. So that's why the offense was more impressive.
Definitely. I think they were definitely impressive. Defensively,
there's praiseworthy things to be said about the offense, but overall,
defense definitely won that game.
Defense won the game.
What's crazy about the way things have been trending? We talked about all these stats last week, over the last 4 weeks, right? We were talking about the first downs, time of possession, rushing defense, and how they're basically top 5 in the league in all of these stats over the last 4 games. And then this particular game, they bested all of those numbers. They bested their rushing. They bested their rushing defense, their time of possession, their first downs, all of that stuff. And so the way they've played the last 5 games is exactly what we thought we were going to get at the beginning of the year, that we talked about all through training camp, of how this is going to be a great defense. And all the offense has to do is take care of the ball, use some clock, give the defense breaks so that they can be rested and not turn the ball over and just be average. And so the last 5 games, this is exactly who we thought they were. And maybe it just took some time to finally get there. But they're there now. And so you have to expect them going forward to possibly beat Dallas, to beat Vegas, to beat Philly. You know what I mean?
Now we're getting to what I want to talk about.
You want to talk about the P word.
Yeah, because you said we're there. So you think we're there.
The way the team is playing right now, they can beat anybody in this league, and they've shown it. They've beaten Tampa. They've beaten Carolina. They've beaten Seattle.
We got
now. These teams aren't world beaters. Tampa Bay's a world beater, but these other teams aren't. But they're dominating these teams, not necessarily on the scoreboard with the numbers. They're dominating these teams. They're not just beating them and squeaking by. Statistically, they're dominating them statistically.
You're not wrong there. One of the stats 007 brought up there was the 3 and outs that the defense was able to push. It was 6 3 and outs by my count on the
in a row
play-by-play total for the game. There were several that were back to back. So here we go. 1, 2.
I know there was 6 in a row because Seattle's the only team that's done it all year.
Yeah.
So
they put that stat up. 5 in a row.
So there's 5 in a row. Asterisk there. The 6th one that would have been in that started that trend was 2 plays that ended in a fumble. So it was 2 plays fumble, then 3 plays for 9 yards, 3 plays for 5 yards, 3 plays for 7 yards, 3 plays for 6 yards, 3 plays for -3 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And then they had a 5-play, 16-yard drive.
And then punted again.
And then punted again. And then they got the touchdown on that final drive. So defense has been absolutely monsters. Offense, running the ball, this time of possession thing, this is we talked about it before with the kicking blunders of having blocked kicks. This time of possession thing, that's a trend at this point, that they are just completely owning the clock. Now, we do need to see more points put on the board. This is where field goal, this is where, if we're going to talk the P word, this is where winning those playoff games, whether or not it's getting to the playoffs or in the playoffs, the difference between winning and losing is going to be 3 points is going to lose you a game. 7 points are going to win you a game.
Are we a playoff team right now?
Yes, because we're the 7th. The Washington football team is
outside of the numbers, team. Outside of the record.
I think if you look at the last 5 weeks of play, not just the 3 wins, right? So if you look at the last 5 weeks of play, I do think Washington football team is a playoff team.
I agree.
I am not there yet.
I know, yeah, and I get that some people are not there. I get that you're not there yet, Trev. But
I am not there yet.
But if they play like this to where they can hold, I understand Russ is not at the top of his game right now. He had some throws out there that were just really bad. He had some throws that were Hall of Fame throws as well. There were some great throws that he had out there. He's got all kinds of weapons on offense. Not all kinds. He's got some very good weapons on offense, and he's a weapon himself. And they shut him down. They just absolutely shut him down. And they shut down Christian McCaffrey, the best all-around back in football, the week before. They shut down the world champions, the greatest quarterback of all time, with Hall of Famers all around him. I don't know if Gronk really played that game, but
he did.
Godwin and Fournette and Mike Evans and Tom Brady. Hello.
Not lack. There was definitely not a lack of talent there in the Bucs.
And
so we're a playoff team right now.
And they're doing just enough on offense to get by. So they got to be better. I'm not saying they're a Super Bowl contender.
No,
but I am saying they are a team that nobody wants to play in the playoffs. I promise you that. Nobody.
If they keep, I'm not going to go that far. If they keep playing football like they're doing right now, I do think that these last 6 games, because that's what it's down to. And just because we're on here, and even though we're this is Day After Reckoning is more of a reflective series, and we'll talk more about the Raiders and whether or not they're going to scare us. We'll talk about that on Wednesday. But out of these 6 games, how many do you think Washington needs to win to make the playoffs?
All of them.
No, they don't need to win all of them to make the playoffs.
You've already given Dallas a 2-game, like a cushion for the division. If Dallas wins Thursday and then beats us the following week,
they win.
There goes our hope.
For sure.
It's done. So we have to win all of them.
There's 3 wild card spots.
Yeah, but
we already lost 6. So if we have to win all of them.
They're currently in the 7th spot right now.
If you go 4-2,
We have to play the Raiders, which is no slouch because they just beat Dallas, who is a lead in our division. We have to play Dallas twice, Philly twice, which they're up and down just as bad as anybody else, and the Giants again. And it's division.
Right. There isn't anybody. Is there anybody in the NFL that you would say, well, that's an easy win?
Maybe now Detroit, the way we're playing now.
Maybe
Detroit,
Houston,
Jacksonville, New York.
That's about it, right?
No.
The Jets.
Hold on. There's more.
That's probably it. Did we say the Bears?
The Falcons,
anybody else?
Bears.
No.
Falcons, I wouldn't
care. That's what I'm saying. So the way we're playing right now, I think we're good enough to maybe be the wild card. But other than that, we're not a playoff team yet.
But that's a playoff team. Is a wild card spot.
Wild card's a playoff.
That's what you're asking. If you're asking whether or not we're serious contenders for maybe the NFC championship game?
Oh, second round.
Second round? Just getting out of the first round? I do think that they have the way the team's been playing the last 5 weeks. Again, I'm not ready to co-sign Stoners. No one wants to face Washington in the playoffs. But I am willing to say that this team, I would not be surprised to see this team win a playoff game the way that they've played football the last 5 weeks.
Okay.
But this is still the same team, by the way, that lost to the Bills and the Chiefs and that looked abysmal, barely beat, the Giants. This is a 5-6 team. So you can't just go off of the last 5 weeks.
Got whooped by the Saints.
Yeah, this is a team that's trending well. What Stoner's talking about statistically, this team is just doing great things. They're doing the things you want to see. Now, you do want to see more of, like I said, the scoring, right? Sure. Turn those threes into sevens, those drives that ends where there's no points. Got to get some kind of points out of those.
If we sit the 7th spot right now, we play Green Bay. Do we beat them today? Next week, if
you wouldn't play Green Bay, Green Bay would get the
2 seed.
Green Bay's the 1 seed. Oh, that's right. The Cardinals are the 1 seed.
There's 8 teams.
So how does it work now? I forgot. The one team.
8 teams.
One team gets the bye. Two play 7, 3 play 6.
So do we beat Green Bay right now the way we're playing? If the playoffs started on Sunday,
I think they absolutely could beat Green Bay today. Absolutely, they could beat them. We just played them and didn't get whooped by them, and that was
it's one of the 5 games that I'm referring to. They looked reasonable.
Yeah, and it was a not good Taylor Heineke game too. That was the game where they couldn't get inside.
They moved the ball well, but they couldn't score.
Right, and defensively they played really well. So yes, I think they could beat Green Bay today. Absolutely. The way they're playing right now is exactly what we thought they were when at the beginning of the year people were saying 11-6, 12-5, 10-7. We were all saying that. Because what? Because we thought their defense was going to dominate and their offense was going to be good enough. And that's what they're doing right now.
Kendall Fuller actually showed up yesterday.
Yeah.
He's been showing up recently now that he's moved back to the outside.
Tampa Bay got burnt, so that was just 2 weeks ago.
On one play.
He didn't get burnt at all yesterday.
Okay, but you're acting as if he was burnt every single one. He got singed on one play.
It's pretty much he gets burnt pretty much once a game. Let's be honest. Kendall Fuller. Can we be honest?
Yeah, but you know who else gets burnt once a game?
Who?
Jalen Ramsey.
Trayvon Diggs. Is not. He's nowhere close to that.
Right, but what I'm saying is,
I know what you're saying.
All of the all pros get burnt every game.
They catch their interceptions.
Let's not call that kid in Dallas an all pro just yet. But
Stoner, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm just saying.
What's in that hot chocolate of
yours? You ain't got Kahlua last night,
it's the consistency, because when you say that Kendall Fuller gets burnt every game, correct. But so do the best defenders in the game. They get burnt every game too. But consistently, how often do they get burnt throughout the course of a game? And do they make plays? And do they make tackles? So he's going to get burnt. They all are.
For us.
But how well do you play consistently throughout the game? And lately he's been playing extremely well throughout the course of the game.
Roger brings up consistency.
That play, Kendall Fuller was not was not on. I don't know who that last pass was, the 2-point conversion that he picked. Who that throw that was to who?
Freddie Swain, the guy who scored a
Swain.
touchdown before that.
He was not covering Freddie Swain. He was kind of going a little bit with DK Metcalf, and he read Russell Wilson's eyes, stopped, came back to the middle, and had that was a great play.
I said he had his best game yesterday. He didn't get burnt. Damn, Stoner, did you hear me?
Now you know how it feels when you guys tag on me for Kendall, not Kendall Fuller, but Logan Thomas. Roger Smith brings on the comment here for consistency as well. It's what's needed. Smash mouth approach is working. Ball control and time of possession is key. Playing hard for 60 minutes with toughness and physicality on defense and offense, which is what they're doing. And this looks like Washington teams of old. And you see Baldy breakdowns. I don't know if you've been watching those. He loves
Eric Flowers.
Eric Flowers is
Pro Bowl.
Just absolute beast. I do think we got our Pro Bowl people wrong. Because Eric Flowers is legit as
he's been killing guys
as a guard. He's been a monster. The offensive line has been good. The defensive line, even with people being in the shuffles and the fact that they've lost. By the way, Montez Sweat comes back, and I do think that's going to be very helpful, especially because that should be for the Philadelphia game where I think they'll need somebody on the outside. You still have time, by the way, if you're listening to us live, to call in to it. Just go ahead and DM us on Twitter or Facebook. We'll send you a link and you can join us. Right now, though, we're going to go to our go-goes and no-goes.
I haven't even thought about these yet, so you guys go first.
All right.
Shout out to Cam Mingo, by the way, in our chat.
What up, Cam Mingo?
So I've got a couple, if I may, for go-goes.
Okay.
There's always the obvious ones. McKissick scores 2 touchdowns. He's obviously a go-go, right? I think Curtis Samuel played extremely well in his limited time. He had the key block on McKissick's second touchdown, I think. I can't remember which one. He had a great block on that got McKissick into the end zone. So he's one of them. But here's something. Shaka Toney played 5 plays.
You took
I took him. Come on. Shaka Toney. You like listed off 3 names. I can't give you the Shaka Toney's my name.
I only had one other one.
Why Shaka Toney's on the go-go list.
He played 5 plays. He had a sack and he had a tackle on Russ Wilson when Russ got out of the pocket. I don't think it was a loss. It was
recorded as a tackle for a loss.
Yeah.
It was like a 3-yard game.
There was a sack.
It was so he got a sack, and it was because I looked this up before because I knew Shaka Toney was going to be my go-go, and I'm looking at it right now, and Shaka Toney has 2 tackles.
Yeah,
2 solo, 1 sack, and 1 tackle for loss.
Well, the one I'm thinking of was down the field that Russ got out and he chased him down and tackled him a few yards short. 5 plays, and he impacted on at least 3 of them, right? So that's incredibly impressive. So that's a go-go. Sorry, I stole that from you.
Yeah, Shaka Toney was mine. He I mentioned his name while watching the game. Like you said, only 5 snaps. I was shocked to find that out. I really was.
I wonder if that's
when I came
sort of
back and I saw this. I saw the snap count. I was like 5 snaps.
Yeah,
I said his name at least, like you mentioned, 3 times. The tackle for a loss, the sack, the pull down where Russ was going to get the first down, and Shaka Toney tracked him down.
Yep.
I honestly thought that it was. I thought that was one of Jamin Davis's plays, but it turned out it was Shaka Toney, and I was surprised. The guy absolutely did an amazing work there. And hopefully he can continue to develop to be somebody who they can count on to make those kind of plays for the defensive line. Who else we got for a go-go?
I got 2. Yeah. Eric Flowers, like I mentioned before.
He's
if
fantastic.
you go back and watch Baldinger's breakdowns, you just see just how crucial he is in Antonio Gibson's run success. I mean, he's just moving dudes left and right, pancakes. And the way he celebrates after Antonio gets a first down, you would have thought we scored a touchdown. That means he loves doing his job, and it's beautiful to see. And then my other one is obviously Kendall Fuller. He was a ball hawk all game. He dropped 1 interception, go figure. But then he got his hands on one.
not a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
He got his hands on one and tipped it to McCain when he dropped the interception. Then he had the game-sealing interception at the end. So, Kendall Fuller. And Russell Wilson for not looking DK Metcalf's way the entire game. Thank you. That's a good
appreciate that.
Well,
appreciate
you can
that 2-point conversion.
The D-line, the D-line, I think, did an effective job making sure that he didn't have the time to look his way. Because there was plenty of
some of them. Yeah.
There was plenty of times where I was just like, DK is one-on-one.
He's wide open, bro.
He
bodied William Jackson on one of them.
But yeah, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like all he has to do is just throw it up as a prayer. And he tried that and it didn't work.
Yeah. And I think, Stern and I said that because I don't know if you could see it at the game, but they showed a close up after one series where DK didn't get the ball. He was wide open and he went over and started like talking, like kind of pointing Russell's way.
He was doing his diva thing.
Yeah, and then Stone and I were like, probably he's going to have to throw to him now because they had a little scuffle or he had a hissy fit on the sideline, and that's when they came back in and forced that well-covered pass to DK.
Yeah,
that got
Fuller
tipped
was...
and almost picked. But any other time, bro, he didn't even look DK's way. Like, he had DK open on that 2-point conversion. He had DK open on the right going like he did a 3-step drop, shoved William Jackson off him. He was wide open across the middle. He just never looked DK's way. So
I'm okay
that's a
with that.
For me.
And I never want to hear that DK is
Thank
better
you very
than Terry
much.
McLaurin.
Yep. If you come on the show saying that, you get the boot.
Hey, look,
you're gonna get booted. I have my finger over your button.
For real. What, Stoner? What?
He's got the finger over the button, so I guess I can't say nothing. Receivers are a product of the quarterbacks mostly. Receivers are always open. I'm just going to say that. And if the quarterback can get it to them, then they look good.
Terry isn't a diva. I'm going to take him over DK Metcalf.
All right.
So, not to say that DK isn't a physical specimen or a good wide receiver. Terry McLaurin is the man. Love to see him. He didn't exactly have a breakout game. 4 catches for 51 yards. Who's your guys' no-goes?
I think that's an easy one.
What?
I mean, the Bobby McCain did not play well. He dropped an interception right in his hands again. I think that's 3 this year. I'm just right to him.
Yep.
And he got miscommunicated on one play. Who knows? Maybe Jackson was supposed to go with him, and Bobby McCain he's the one that gets left hanging.
If you watch that one, Jackson very clearly is very confident passing him off to Bobby McCain, and Bobby McCain is just not moving, period.
However, the guy that Jackson went to already had a guy on him. So now he's double covered and left the Tyler Lockett all by himself. But on the second one, it was he got juked out of his cleats. But he did a good job of making up to it, and getting there, almost knocked it away. And also prevented him from going, scoring a touchdown on that, because a better throw, he would have scored a touchdown easily on that. So I think Bobby McCain's my no-go for the game.
Travis,
that's the only guy.
Joey Sly, because
insult to injury.
I know you want to, stop. You want to tackle him. You want to, prevent the score. Stay in your lane, dog. You're a kicker. Your legs are the most valuable thing on your body for a football team.
He looks pretty jacked, by the way. I don't know if you guys have seen him.
He's a beast.
Yeah, to kick the ball, not to run a full 100-yard dash down to catch a lineman, bro. Like, we understand your willingness to make a play, but you're the kicker. We need your legs.
Yeah, you're the only one on the team who can do what you do. You might want to take better care of your body. Yeah. It was unfortunate that's how it played. Again, Tress Wade nearly got himself injured on that. He was he, for the longest time, had the dirtiest jersey of any Washington player.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of humorous kind of looking at them that way. My no-go, and I take this with a grain of salt. This is me being nitpicky.
Here it comes.
Because you have to find somebody.
It's Gibson.
Yeah.
Second, okay. Listen, had an amazing game. I know that this is controversial here. That picking him after he had 100.
It's not. Actually.
He knows better.
It's not.
He knows he needs to stay in bounds. I'm looking at the thing here because I thought this was the case. If he stays in bounds there, they run it down to 2-minute warning. That changes that last drive for Seattle entirely. Right? They didn't have any timeouts.
Maybe even prevents it.
Very well could have, because they scored with 15 seconds left on the clock. They didn't have any timeouts. You gave them a free clock stoppage there.
Yeah.
Yep.
A bunch.
Which they used. So that to me, you just can't make that play, especially after you did it just last week.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I know you're that close to score. You want the stats, you want to score, but nah, dog, we got to get this W.
40 seconds
Jump
greater
back
than
inside,
sign,
jump
3
back
yards.
inside, fall down.
Tyreek Hill does it all the time. He just runs and slides and sits down.
Yeah.
Just do it, bro.
You got to know where you are. You got to know these things. Again, I know I'm nitpicking. He had a great day otherwise, 29 carries for 111 yards, 7 catches for 35 yards. Very active there.
But like you said, that's when the mentality plays in. Like the physicality stuff is great, but when the mental stuff is important and starts to take place in the game, and you're lacking that can cost us the game. Hey, we could be in the playoffs.
If they lose, if they would have lost this game, I would have looked back at that particular play
for
as
sure.
the reason. Not the touchdown, not the 2-point conversion. If they would have scored that, I would have looked back at that and said, right there.
That's
because, we do that to Aaron Rodgers, we lose. We do that with that much time to Tom Brady in that game, we lose. So, you know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You give all these guys
that happened in the Auburn Alabama game. Their running back went out of bounds.
Yes.
And gave Alabama that extra time to come down and tie the score, and then they ended up winning. And that guy's going to get run out of town, unfortunately, because he lost the game for him. All he had to do was stay in bounds.
I was watching that game. It was so sad.
And we didn't get to talk about it. It was one other storyline is at some point, and maybe we'll talk about this more tomorrow on our regular show, but at some point we have to start talking about, we don't have to make any definitive statements. We have to start talking about Taylor Heineke and the possibility that the quarterback of the future is on this roster right now. We have to talk about it. I'm not saying I'm trying to convince anybody of it, but we have to at least discuss it.
I'll be glad
the quarterback of the future may actually be on this roster right now.
No.
I'm just saying.
Wait to talk about that tomorrow. I cannot wait to discuss.
We'll talk about
it. We can.
Oh, I can't wait! You son of a gun! You got me all hyped up to talk about something I can't wait to talk about.
That's what you call a tease.
Well, here's not a tease. This is just time to pay up.
This is your favorite part. This is Nathan's favorite part. He gets the most excited when Dollar comes around.
I didn't do all that well this particular time. I mean, I did a little bit better than what somebody originally counted up.
Yeah.
Math isn't exactly his strong suit, folks.
I don't know who this you speak of.
So I am pulling up the board here.
It ain't me, dog.
Trevor still coming up in the rear here for
That's right.
Hey. So we're gonna take off
minus 13.
Some of this extra branding.
I'm telling you right now, I'm going to be in the green by week 17 or 18.
Okay, I'll bet you $1 on that.
All right.
That's now. Here's the funny thing: if you end up at 0, which is black, by the way, that $1 you just bet puts you back in the red.
Yeah.
I'm that confident.
Okay.
I'm always good after the bye.
All right, you ready? So the first one was done offline prior to the game, where I said that Logan Thomas was going to have 3 catches, and EP said no way. So,
and how many catches did he have?
He had 3. Exactly.
Exactly.
Should have
3
had
catches.
5, or should have had 4.
Now she did say he was going to have a drop.
I don't know if they're gonna. We're gonna have to go to the advanced stats. I don't know if they're gonna count that as a drop.
We got to call Ariel on those.
It's a drop.
Because it was tipped. Because it was tipped by the Bobby Wagner.
Are you talking about the interception or the touchdown? That was not a touchdown.
Is that considered
a drop? That's definitely a drop.
Or was that a pass defended?
That's a drop. That's definitely a drop.
I'm just asking the question.
Yeah, you lost $1 there. We'll make sure that I'll update this board.
I lost
Stoner's at
$1.
$11. Yeah, you bet her that he wasn't going to do the drop.
I don't think so.
You didn't take her on that one?
I don't think so. We have to go back and check. No.
The bet. Look at Stoner right now. I'm going back. I'm checking right now. I'm checking. Hold on. I'm checking.
The bet was that
I'm checking.
Logan Thomas would have 3 catches. I didn't say anything about any drops.
This is gonna be good.
While he's checking.
Move it along.
Because
move it along.
Nathan
We're already over
to
time, as we always are. Move it along.
Nathan tried to go with Terry McLaurin having 4 catches. And I was like, I'm not taking that. I think he had 4? Maybe
4 catches.
5. Yeah.
He needed 4 to make his record.
Yeah.
He got 4.
All right. So the first one is
Antonio Gibson, by the way, needed 104 yards, I think, to break 1,500. What do we got, Trev?
All right. So EP Logan, I dropped the ball. Oh wait, no. Chris, I bet you $1 he gets at least 3 catches.
Mm-hmm.
I reacted with the fire emoji. EP says you are on. I bet you that he drops at least 1, and Stoner replies with a thumbs up emoji. So does that classify as you?
I think that's an agreement.
That's
an agreement.
I don't think so. What is this?
That's an agreement.
What is this tomfoolery? What is these shenanigans that are going on here?
Agreement. Stoner's at $11. I'm at $16. Trev's at. See, this is why.
All right.
There's some funny math going on here. Stoner's been adding these up lately. Maybe I do
for
need
the
to
record,
double check.
Does that count? Did Stoner take that bet?
Yes, I think that that's him taking the bet.
I guess if you guys want to say so.
EP
sucks to suck, Stoner.
Whatever. All right.
Nathan, you and I had the same time.
So Mama Perry, Nathan, and Trev both are all said that Washington football team would have the lead at halftime. However, it was 9-9 at halftime. Therefore, Stoner was the only one who went against that. So Stoner won $1 there.
When he brought that up right as Homeboy was running it back yesterday, I was even more devastated that I lost the dog. I was like, are you kidding me? We were a blocked extra point away of winning that bet.
Literally just need to make that field goal, and we win that. We win that bet.
Yeah. An extra point, no less, right? An extra point.
Extra point.
The only time we make a bet like that,
or not
score, it doesn't work.
Or not let the guy run it all the way back, and you still would have had the lead. Nathan said that DK Metcalf would have at least 100 yards.
No. That's not what I said.
Oh, what the? Yes, you did.
No. I said, go watch the tape. I said that he'd be held under 100 yards.
All right, I'm going back to watch the tape, ladies and gentlemen.
Watch the tape. I was confident that.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. I was confident that Washington was going to hold DK down. Oh, bump me up, buddies. Right. Bump me up.
You bump up and Trevor bump down because Trevor and EP took it. So EP would lose a. Okay, I think actually, you know what? I think you're right. I looked at it as just being like a dash, 100 yards, but it's actually minus, so less than.
Yeah, less than. I definitely. I knew they weren't going to let DK run wild over him.
Yep. So you're going to have to make a bunch of adjustments.
All right, let me mark these down here. So I'm +1. Trev is -1. Eventually, we got to go in here and we got to have EP's name to this.
And Stoner's -1.
And Stone. Oh, you took that one too? Oh no, that's right. Because
from your disputed bet.
Not disputed. You took the bet.
Oh, by the way, I'm going to look that up too to see if that counted as a drop. Because if it's like a pass defended, that's not a drop. And the guy was all over him. So I'm going to look up that.
We need multiple sources. We need multiple sources. Go ahead. Continue on with our dollar.
Nathan said Gibson would be over 100 yards, and
that's
he was.
Right, I did.
Trevor said no way. Stoner said James Smith-Williams would have 1.5 sacks. I don't even know if he played. Much. What?
Found it.
What did it say?
I'm not even going to write it down because DK Metcalf will be held under 100 yards. Held under 100 yards.
You just lost yourself an extra $1 there, Trev.
But thanks for doing that. Thanks for doing that.
Because
Smith Williams, by the way, three total sacks, 2 solo.
I mean tackles. 3 total.
Yeah, sorry.
I'm still going to be in the green by the end of the season. I don't care.
You're at -14. Stoner said the Seattle defense would have 4 sacks. I don't think they had but one, right? Mama Perry, Nathan, and Trev all took that one.
Yeah.
Trevor and Mama Perry said Heineke would have 2 interceptions. Stoner and Nathan said no chance. He only had 1. And Trevor and Nathan said Sly would make all his kicks, and Stoner said no way. And he definitely missed one.
I got a new $1 for tomorrow.
And that's it. Those are the bets. So
all right. So we'll all adjust the board. Definitely.
I'm sorry, none of us were close on score predictions either, right?
No, not really.
Stoner was probably the closest, but he had the wrong team winning.
Hey, Nathan, let me ask you a question.
22-20.
Yeah.
So before we got on live yesterday,
Yes.
Nathan and I both Stoner and I both admitted that we did not feel very confident about a win yesterday. Before the game, did you think we were really going to win? I know you were tweeting 31-13 and stuff. When you got to the stadium, did you feel like we were going to win? Honestly,
I still very much felt like this was a game that Washington should have ran away with. And even at halftime, I was just like, okay, they're doing all the right things, right? They have the time of possession. They're running the ball well. They're doing everything that you want them to do except for putting the points on the board. So I really thought that we were going to see probably 21 points put on the board in the second half by the offense, and the defense holding Seattle to maybe again, one big play or something like that. So I really did think that Washington was going to perform a lot better than what they did.
And you definitely thought they were going to win from the jump.
I did. Wow, I felt pretty confident about that. We'll see whether or not I feel confident about the Raiders game tomorrow. Yeah. You can catch us live 7 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. I know. I'm sorry. I ruined the great singing bit there for you, especially with Annie being timely. Yeah. Did you try out for the show? Can you do your best Annie for us?
Yeah. Tomorrow, we'll be back again tomorrow. Whether you love us or hate us,
we legit lost a viewer during this.
A fan.
Well, thank you for those who stuck with us. I wanted you to know I'm not cutting that out of our audio format. You can catch the audio format wherever podcasts are found. If you're watching the video, you can see that Stoner has his hand raised, which means he thinks I'm going to forget something. So we're going to pass it to Stoner here.
I know what he's going to do, and I'm right here with him. Let's do it.
I'll bet you $1 you don't.
You always want to try to get some money up out of me, bro. But I got you. You're on.
According to Pro Football Reference, Logan Thomas has 0 drops this year.
Ha! I knew
I'll
it was
take
about
my
Logan
$1
Thomas.
back.
I promise you I knew it was about Logan Thomas.
I said multiple sources.
All right, I'll find another source.
All right, but I'll cross yours off
for
now.
For that.
If you want to get too wily, I'm going to tell you the Washington cap score.
He's quiet now, ain't he? Yeah, sip that hot chocolate, bro.
And Mama Stores is in the house. Shout out to Mama Stores.
Oh, you didn't like my singing, Mom? That's foul. You taught me.
All right. Well, again, you can catch us tomorrow, 7 p.m. We're sponsored by Pacers Running. Check them out online. They'll get you covered. Just do a virtual fitting. It's awesome. Good thing to do. And we also got a show coming out Wednesday. You'll hear more about that, but you're going to want to tune in tomorrow to find out what that's about.
Until we got a show coming out Friday. You said Wednesday.
Well, tomorrow, Wednesday show, you'll find out about Friday's show. Does that make sense? Is everyone with us?
This whole Tuesday thing just threw us off the whole entire
It is.
Right? Yeah.
It is. Well, until next time.
What?
Be a fan.
We love Washington, and we some die-hard fans. Yeah, we are. You know we keep it on 10. Let's talk about the 1, 2, 3, let's go. And they gifted. We are ref the district. Podcast. Come on now and join us. You join